Woo! Woo! All right. First things first, my peoples come first, and my peoples, those that are here, no longer here, thought of, remembered. Let me say this. Apologies on my tardiness. Apologies. I thought that the show was actually scheduled for 9, and then I was like, got this sinking feeling, and I was like, oh snap. So apologies. I will do my best to never let that happen again. All right. Let me say this. Every show, and let me introduce the show. This is Video Games TV. You're here on the channel. This is Why Always Me. Episode 109. Episode 109. We're getting close to that 115. But this is episode 109. And what I do every episode, I take a second. I acknowledge the person that took their time to hit that notification button, like the show, and also take time and drop a comment. If you haven't done any of those things, please do so. But the very first person to do it on tonight's show is Dre P. Dre P in the building. Dre P goes, smart acquisition, but at the same time, City had planned to move on from him. Does this mean their plans to move on had not gone to plan? I like that. I like the plan with the plan, or did it go to plan? I like how you did all that. Now, I'm going to say this. You saw it. Let me take the comment off screen for a second. I put this. The right signing makes all the difference. Makes all the difference. But one of the things we're going to have to discuss, and we'll get to it. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I'm going to shout out all of you in the comments. I will do that. One thing to kind of look and notice is Gundogan solves a lot. He solves a lot of issues, concerns, challenges. But at the same time, with us acquiring him, he does raise a few problems. Good problems, but he raises a few problems. Now, we're going to get into it. I'm going to make sure I put the clock on screen. I'm going to make sure I do my best to stay sharp and tight. I'm doing things. I'm messing around with different hours doing the show. Obviously, it's got to work within my work day, my family day, and also things away from all of that. You know, you want to keep a healthy life, be active, be fit, whatever keeps you nice and balanced. Make sure you keep that in your life. So I'm gonna do this. Ooh, we ain't doing 15 minutes per topic. We're not doing that. That needed to change. That was over from StaffyTV, American Waffle. That was a great show, by the way. Staffy was in the cell for the majority of it, which made it absolute quality. You can tell them that I said that. Now, everybody else in the comments, let me shout out my girl. My girl DC's in the building. She goes, Gundogan. I like that. Gundogan. Gundo is back again. Gundogan. I love that. AJ, big up Vader. Hope everything is good for you, bro. Everything's good, and apologies on my tardiness. I will not have that scheduling mishap happen again. All right. But I'm here, and we're going to keep this show moving. Spread the word. Drop that like if you haven't. Hey, people in the chat, I see you. Subscribe. Love. If you want to share this with other like-minded City fans, or if you want to share it with rivals that happen to like a different combo, please do so. Okay. Let me also say this. The addition of Gundo has me amped. Shout out to my man Fox. What it do? Has me amped. Cancelo out. Gundogan back. We nice. Things are good. And it's also important just to wait for everything to be finalized. But this is absolutely amazing. AJ goes, you all good, Vader. It happens. We all appreciate it. Thanks for understanding. But at the same time, with regards to the channel, I want you guys to also know, because I've actually realized that sometimes based off of the day, you kind of plan things out to, be a part listening to the show, be within the comments. And if I disrupted that for any of you, my apologies. But let me do this real quick. The thumbnail, I had to put Gundogan on the screen. Had to. right? And I had to ask the question. I had to pose some of my observations. So we're going to go through all of these things. We're going to devote about 5 minutes per topic, and I'm going to do my best to be on point. And obviously, we're going to open this up and have the combo. We've been looking for the Gundogan replacement since he left a season ago. We got full transparency, full squad, everybody since Gundo left. We went and got Kovacic. Did his thing. Is he a Gundogan? No, but he did his thing. We went out and got Mateo Nunes. Is he Gundo? No, but does he have that potential in terms of being impactful for us? Yes, absolutely. I don't think he was a mistake, buy, or purchase. But the experience of what Gundogan has been, right? Can't replace that in a season. You can't replace that even with two players that aren't familiar with the Manchester City system or with the manager. Pep has had Gundo by his side in the squad for a long time. You don't replace that like that. And also last season, let's be real, the transition for Kovacic and Nunes would have been a lot smoother. Would have been nice and calm, probably not as hectic, not as stressful for some of us. Yeah, I mean, am I going to say that these came through because of supporting Manchester City? A little bit. These platinums came through because of that. But had a KDB been healthy consistently, had there maybe been not as many suspensions with regards to Rodri, the transition for Nunes as well as Kova could have been smooth, a lot smoother. Now, are we overly critical? No, but only because we can see where we can improve when it comes down to Champions League. But with regards to the league, we won the league again. We won the league by 2 points. And we did that with an injured KDB in Holland. So can't stress too much, but we've been looking for that player. And we've been stressed. I'll say I've been stressed. I haven't been panicking. All right. I said this. I have not been panicking. P word, nah. But I've been stressed. I've been stressed because not according to plan, and shout out to Dre P in the middle, not according to plan, but Julian Alvarez said he wants out. He wants to try a different challenge. He wants to move on. Not according to plan, Oscar Bob suffered that fracture. Terrible. Now look at the strain. Look at what it causes with regards to the squad to have to adjust. Now look at what we kind of have to Band-Aid fix or have Pep do his thing, tinkering around, having coverage, but we don't have the player designated to do what we want to do. We chill. Shout out to AJ. He says 11 likes. Appreciate that. The more, the merrier, the better. I'm here, and I'm gonna be in the comments. Trust me. I'm gonna start the clock. But we've been looking for that signing, and that signing comes through after. This is what makes it even so much more sweet. This signing comes through after Julian Alvarez has left, after Oscar Bob has suffered his injury. Absolutely fantastic signing. The treble captain returns. And we can't ignore what he meant to us. We can't ignore how important, how impactful he's been, right? And it's just things that he does, just with his intelligence, just with his positioning, just with outsmarting his opposition, his opponent. Gundogan coming back solves a lot of problems for us. And he is the signing for a club like ours that needs that experience. We don't need the pace and power. We have that elsewhere. In the central portion of the pitch, when we think about coverage for Rodri, when we think about our balance, when we face the clubs like an Arsenal, like a Real Madrid, like a Bayern, we need that experience in the midfield. And that's what Ilkay Gundogan brings us. He is the absolute amazing signing because do we have to give him time to adapt? Is there an orientation period? No. Ilkay Gundogan knows Manchester City. He's left Barcelona. Let's think about this. He left Barcelona. And he said, you know what? The grass isn't greener over there. The message that it says to so many other players out there in terms of club destinations, and we're going to talk about all the other topics, with regards to Arsenal, United, Liverpool, but let's be honest here. Destination, club pull, right? Everybody wants to talk about club pull. It's here. You have a treble winner going to Barca, and Barca has a tremendous history, and he's coming back to us. He's coming back to us, and he's also said he's been pretty vocal on it's not all that nice over there. It's not all that nice. Shout out to Donna in the building. Says Wagwan, Mr. Vader. Wagwan, hope you're good. Appreciate you being on the channel. If you haven't hit that like button, also goes Mr. Vader. You are looking very handsome today. I got the guns out. I got the guns out because we flex in this season. Donna, everybody in the chat, we flex in this season. You can be confident. You can be modest. You can be humble. But then you can also enjoy the moment. And to be honest with you, as a Canadian myself, it's standard. It's how we are. We're humble. We're quiet people. We're respectful people. But this season, I think the players themselves, I think the players are going to have the momentum with us as fans flexing. Us this season as fans, we need to flex and show that we're backing them, show that we support them, show that the fight that they've been doing for the last 4 years to be able to have a four-peat, we need to encourage them on. We need to flex on them. We need to flex on the rest of them. I mean, we don't got to do it obnoxiously. We don't have to be rude about it, but we can just be confident. You know what I mean? We can just be confident, chest up, sit tall. That's me this season. I'm telling you. If you happen to see me on rival channels, that's how I'm going to be moving. That's how I'm going to be moving. But the trouble captain has come back to us. And he's come back to us in what could be seen as like a Hollywood, Disney type movie play out. Funny enough, hey, our partnership with Sony Pictures, that's going to be something sweet. We also had the Together Trouble documentary. We can't forget that. That happened on Netflix. Imagine what is coming out on City Plus with regards to the four-peat season. Because the cameras were on. They are capturing all of the behind-the-scene moments. I can't wait for that. And we're pursuing something that, again, never been done before. What a time to be a Manchester City fan. Absolutely amazing. Now, are we done? Are we done with the signing? I'm hearing whispers that we're not done. Khaldoon in the post-season interview talked about how we were going to be very active, as well as cleaning our name with regards to the charges and everything that was going to be happening. But he also said we were going to be active in this transfer window. I don't think we're done. Oscar Bob's coming back. Amazing. We'll give him time. We're not going to rush him. Gundogan coming back. Again, we'll talk about it the next conversation, and we're going to make sure we do this nice and clean. I'm going to be on point tonight because I was late. I'm going to make sure that everything is nice and right. Let me make sure I do this. I'm going to move that down here, and then I'm also going to hit you with this, and then I'm going to do that. Vader game. Now, we got to be balanced. We got to be balanced. You come to my channel, you tune into Why Always Me, or you tune into Citizens Neighborhood Watch, or you tune into 115, one question, 15 minutes, 115, and I got a special. I'm working on something really special with regards to CIA. I can't wait. Cite Intelligent Agendas. Cite Intelligent Agendas. I can't wait to bring that show to you. Been working on a few things. It's going to be fun. But we got to stay balanced. We got to talk about what Gundogan means and what it changes, what it does with regards to the club. All right? Absolutely, I'm in complete agreement. It's the right signing. It is the right signing. And the right signing makes all the difference because now we've got so much balance in terms of coverage. Coverage with, picture it. Let me say this first. I'm not going to put it on screen, but I'm going to say this. I think our perfect midfield as it stands right now would have, let me say could have Rodri, KDB, Foden, in the midfield. And then we could still put Bernardo Silva out on that right wing. We could have Haaland centrally, and we could have Savinho, Doku, or Grealish out on that left wing. That is what we have to work with. And I didn't even mention the man Gundogan. I didn't even mention Gundo. I didn't mention McAtee. I didn't mention Kovacic. I didn't mention Nunes. We've got so many options now. And we've got the coverage that we were all I was growing these platinums for. We've got coverage for Rodri. Rodri, future Ballon d'Or winner. Everybody, every City fan, make sure you put the word out. That it's no question. It's Rodri Ballon d'Or. He plays, we win. He plays for his club. He plays for his country. He wins. He's that dangerous. But when we think of what Gundo can mean for us to give Rodri coverage, and whether that's not starting, Gundo doesn't start the game. Rodri plays till the 70th minute. Gundo comes on. Maybe Rodri gets a complete rest depending on the time of the season. Gundo is completely there in the playing the six. Got support maybe with a Rico Lewis or a John Stones. Pep is like, okay, now we got this. You know what? Cheeky, everybody, you handle. Go out and get what you need to do. I'm calm. Do your best. Get the best deals. But you got me, Ilkay Gundogan coming back. We're gonna make this work. LFC Red Forever channel. What it do? Thanks for being on the show with a comment. Hey, if you haven't hit that like, I much appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We as you can see, the last topic of the show, but we're flowing. The last topic of the show, Liverpool fans are desperate. I don't know why you guys are desperate, but you are desperate. We're going to speak on that. But what I want to point out is Gundogan solves a lot of problems, but then it's going to be a challenge on Pep. It's going to be a challenge on Pep just to also manage that rotation, that Pep roulette that everybody wants to talk about. But that's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have. And there's going to be so many games. I haven't even done the math yet. The math is long. There's a lot of games. There's a lot of games going to be played this season. New format, the Champions League. You know we want to play in every cup run. It's going to be one of those. AJ in the building, he goes, I know factually Arteta tried to get Gundo to Arsenal. He did, but he couldn't get it over the line. That was never going to happen. I know he tried, and you got to try. You can't score if you don't shoot. Shot can't go in the net if you don't take a shot on net. So you can't fault Arteta for it. And you can know why the quality Arteta's always had. Arteta had his, let's be real, no agendas. Agendas are for CIA intelligent agendas. That's when we do it. And you want to tune in, subscribe, and hit that notification button when you see notifications on that show, because it's going to be lit. But Arteta had his greatest spike whenever he's added a former Manchester City player, right? Look at the season where he added Zinchenko and Jesus. Boom, challenging for the league. Kept those players within the rotation. He's also thinking the same thing. If Arteta can bring a former Manchester City captain, treble captain, into the mix to show them what winning's all about, yeah, they've won games, but they haven't won titles. If you can bring a player with that experience, Arteta would have been like, yeah, let me try all day. I don't care if I get laughed at in my face. I don't care if I get shot down. I have to take the chance. And I respect Arteta for it. Zane in the building. I'm going to pop in for 5-10 minutes considering it's really late where I'm at. Zane, bless. Love as always. This show, if it's going to be happening at night, thank you for tuning in. I'm going to try to make this an 8 o'clock. Well, that's an 8 o'clock for me. All right. So that's a 1. That's late. Yeah, that's going to be late for you. That's like a 1 o'clock over at your end. So bless. Thank you for tuning in. I'm glad I was able to make your comment part of the show. Good looking out. AJ, sadly, Vader, while for me, Rodri deserved the Ballon d'Or, it looks like Vinny Jr. No way! Vinny didn't win anything internationally this season. He won his league and he won Champions League. Big. Rodri won his league, unprecedented, for Pete. Unprecedented. AJ, work with me. Unprecedented for Pete. And he won Euros. Come on. Come on. Donna, Mr. Vader, are you single? No, I am happily married. I'm happily married. Thank you, Donna, though. Thank you. I'm not the one asking. Mr. AJ asked me to try and ask you. Hey, appreciate it. The information's out there. Hey, got no problem saying it. And you know what I learned as an adult? All right, this is funny. Okay. I learned, and it's, when you're younger, when you hear conversations, and more so on TV. I'm getting a derailed, but I haven't started the clock. I'll go on to the next topic. Chelsea fans, if you're in here, just relax a little bit. But I realized that "Do you want to come up for coffee" was code. When I was really, a lot younger, I didn't know that was code. Also, getting older, I didn't realize that when a woman says, "I'm going to slip into something more comfortable," that was also a cue. Like, you know what I mean? The things you learn as you get older. Now, I also learned that if you're asked whether you're married or not, if the man or woman says, "Yes, I'm married," that's actually like an in. You know what I mean? Like, for some, that's kind of like, yeah, I'm open to being hit on. Like, if they just say, I'm married, as opposed to saying, "I'm happily married." When you say "I'm happily married," that means everything's cool. Don't shoot your shot. We'll keep it moving. But if you just say "I'm married," and I learned this. Maybe it's not universal. But I learned that. That's a thing. Zane, this Gundogan signing, in my opinion, will elevate Kovacic even more. Yeah, Kova's going to be seeing this. This is another thing, Zane, and thanks for being on the show. I know it's mad late on you, but that's a great comment. Here's the thing. We see what happens on game day. We see what happens on the pitch when they're playing in front of the cameras, bright lights. But there's also those countless hours that happens on the training pitch that we don't see unless there's a documentary. Shout out to Together Trouble. But when you have moments like that, the players are picking up on things just by osmosis, just by being in the same vicinity, just soaking it all in. And you're seeing how Gundo, as a professional, approaches his craft, spills over. And that's why also managers like Pep, not coaches, there's coaches elsewhere, coaches at United, there's supposed to be a coach over at Liverpool. Like, everyone's trying to strip things down, but our manager Pep, that's what Pep wants when he also decides to keep academy players around. He wants academy players around so that they can see what's required of them to be professional, what's required of them to be that good, to be one of the best. So, yeah, Kovacic is going to level up. I think Nunes is also going to level up in terms of knowing how to pace the match or pace his possession, because he's very quick and he relies on it a little too much. I should say too much, but he has to read the game a little better, and also that possession when he has it, because he is pacey. I think he can learn from a KDB and a Gundo, where you can have even a Roger. You can get the player on kind of like on your back. You can kind of shield them, and then when you have them shield, you don't necessarily have to burst with speed. You can still control that and make things difficult on the other side. So 100%. Hey, what's happening here? Donna, please stop with that. AJ, we know Donna's joking. AJ, don't even stress that. Saying what's up to you. Now, AJ in the building. Vader, I fully believe Raji deserves it, but sadly, they don't respect defense enough for them awards, which I really don't like. I hear you, but this is where City fans have to elevate how they campaign about him. Like, this is where City fans are going to have to point out all of the instances with regards to what he's done, obviously defending that back line, what he's done in terms of controlling possession, interceptions, right? But then there's the assists and the goals. This cannot be overlooked. What he's doing from the sixth position, mind blowing. We're gonna get into it, and I've spoken on Rodri. AJ, I'm with you, and I hear what you're saying. Let me put a star in the comments and keep this moving. Zane, I think this relates. Zane goes, people not giving this Gundo signing the respect. I don't know if it's just me, because I got PTSD on 2 occasions. I think a little bit of it is copium from an Arsenal standpoint. I don't think Zane. I don't think we're hearing any disses or disrespect from any other fan base, but the Arsenal fans are trying to downplay it, trying to say, you know what, it's not that, it's really not that. He's been there, he's left, he's a year older. What could he really mean? But hey, we'll see when a ball gets kicked. All right, let me reset that and put this here. Now, we're also going to do this. Vader game. Now, Chelsea. Where do Chelsea get all of this cash from? You know what? It's not even a matter of where they're getting all this cash from, because when you really deep it, when you really take a second and you're like, how are they able to make this all work, right? They do have these extended contracts. So what is actually required of them to pay within a calendar year is actually a lot less because of how they fractioned it out. When you have these 5, 6, 7-year contracts, the money's broken up in increments. We all know that it's a lot smaller, right? So I think that's how they're able to make this work. But they stay aggressive, and I gotta respect it. I gotta respect how aggressive they are, even though they're taking a different approach from all the other clubs, right? They're taking a very different approach to how they are going after players, to how they are even structuring the contracts. But what they're doing means that they're not going to be this bad for long. What they're doing means that, hey, as the manager figures it out, as the players kind of gel and understand the system, it's not going to take them long to do it. Now, as aggressive as they are, and Maresca, new manager, obviously he had some learnings under Pep. And I'm gonna say this, and I already know those that quote unquote know me for when Sterling was here are gonna take this. But in my opinion, the treatment of Sterling is unprofessional. And it's unbecoming of a club, of a big club, of a club that's supposed to have these standards and this, this level of significance. You can be the better, bigger interaction. You can respect the player even though you don't think that they are of value as you once thought when they were signed. I think, and I'm gonna say this real quick, Sterling's mistake was going to Chelsea if he was only going to Chelsea because of Thomas Tuchel. And if you understand, Tuchel was really amped, really hyped to have him come over to the club, and Tuchel quickly left there. And I think that's probably been the biggest detriment to his stint over at Chelsea, because you now have an incoming manager that didn't have you in their plans, right? Tuchel, who gave Chelsea a Champions League, who was looking to continue on before new ownership, had success and had a lot of success when playing against Manchester City. And he wanted Sterling from what we were doing to him and said, oh, I want this player over here now. So when Tuchel left, I think that's when it was like Sterling was going to have a hard time. Sterling was going to have a very difficult time now that the manager that wanted him is out the door. And it's been a challenge ever since. Players have already turned on him. In the case of collect your check, screw what the club does, especially with the club taking away your number. You don't owe them any favors. And if you can deal with the backlash, if you can get off your socials and just be the athlete, be the football player that you are, I'd do that, my opinion. But we'll see where he ends up, see if Chelsea continue to move this way. But I think it was wrong. Let me see what the comments are saying right here. Mr. AJ, it's nay. I mean, typing quickly, and I'm guilty of this. If I happen to be on my phone and my thick thumbs misprint, hey, don't hold it against me. It happens. Zane goes, imagine Sterling to back up for Salah or Saka. No, Zane, I don't want him at either club. He would be a problem at either club. I don't want that. I do not want Sterling to be an option for Liverpool on the left or right. I don't want him to be an option for Arsenal left or right. Yeah, and he of all players would know that he's not the starter with regards to Saka. He's not the starter with regards to Salah. And you got Saka, Salah, and Sterling. Yeah, see that those S's, that's the problem. I don't want that. Sterling stay way, 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 way far away from those clubs. He's already been at Liverpool, so I can't see him going back. And he didn't leave on the best of terms. Arsenal I wouldn't be surprised, even if it's like one of those best win-win contracts. I wouldn't be surprised. He just couldn't go there for big bank. I see within the comments. Hey, let's let the accidental spelling and typing let that slide. It's no biggie. Let me see what happens here. AJ goes, for this Arsenal fan, Gundo means the league is won. AJ, we've got City's got a great opportunity to win the league. City have a great opportunity to win the league. Yes, great. Regardless what we buy in the remaining 7 to 8 days. If you guys get if Arsenal get a not even a killer, they don't need a killer up front. If they just get an aggressive attacker, and if you were able to get an aggressive attacker that plays center forward, plays the 9, that would be ideal. But yeah, AJ, I can't say the league's ours. I respect the 2-point difference that happened last season. I respect the hunger that happens within any competitor. Arsenal for the last 2 years losing to City, that's motivational. That is we gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta win this. So Manchester City didn't take any. We got the draw at home to Arsenal, and we lost to Arsenal away. Like, nah. It's not that easy, man. I'm not saying the league's ours. I am flexing. I'm confident, right? I'm gonna be confident the fact that this man has returned to the club. I'll be out there. Listen, we're winning this league, but I can't say that it's done. I can't say that it's a wrap. I can't say that I won't be watching Arsenal games to seeing whether there's any chinks in the armor. I can't say all that. Can't say all that. AJ goes, if I'm completely honest, I would take Sterling because ultimately I believe his hunger is sadly gone from him until I see otherwise. If I'm completely honest, I would. You would take it or you wouldn't take? I don't think the hunger's gone, AJ. I think it's, again, for what he's done versus City while at Chelsea, the hunger's not there. I just think it's a matter of he's accustomed to playing for something, right? Good looking out with the likes. Please continue to do that. And again, those that are new, and I know, I get it. You're not interacting with the comments. Hey, you're shy. That's all good. But hit that subscribe. Don't miss that next show. We're gonna move on to the next topic because we're gonna have to talk about Arsenal. We're gonna have to talk about Arsenal. Chelsea, aggressively, they're not going to be poor for long. And hopefully, not many Chelsea fans were having meltdowns after their loss against Manchester City, opening day. Hopefully, I mean, 4-peat champions, right? Shouldn't be stressing, shouldn't be losing their minds. We'll see how they play in the next upcoming game. But I think, where did I have Chelsea this season? I think I had Chelsea 5th this season. I'm sticking by that. Right now. I know there's still more that can be done in this transfer window. Chelsea, stay buying. We'll see what the rest of the league does as well. But I got Chelsea 5th. I don't think that they're going to be bad that long. All right, let me move this. And I'm going to catch up with the comments. I see you guys. All right, let me reset that and let me see what's being said here. Zane goes, you guys gave us 50 million for Sterling. At the time, I think he left on a brilliant terms. No, remember there was like questions on him wanting out, him not showing up to be the best pro in training, or I think he did a post departure interview or something like that. I think there were some questions with how Sterling left. Unfortunately, many want to call him like a snake or whatever. I don't think it was that nasty, but again, sometimes that happens to players, especially at a young age. And he got, in my opinion, he got profiled the wrong way. They didn't really know how to speak on how he related success and took care of his family and things of that nature. But it is unfortunately something that happens. But I don't think he left on the best of terms. What he did for City, what he did with this man, Ilkay Gundogan, in that Aston Villa game will always be saluted, always be appreciated. Because that comeback was Sterling with the cross, subbed on, as well as Gundo, with the cross, rest history. That's what sparked it all. All right, let me get this clock going. We got to talk about this. Actually, let me also do this for consistency. Vader game. All right, so Arsenal, last 2 seasons, a problem. We gave them Jesus and Zinchenko. You're welcome, by the way, Arsenal. And they turned around and broke out of the blocks mad fast, leading the league for the majority of it. All right, I know they hate when Arsenal fans hate when it said, but led the league for like 93% of it. But they were gone. They were races. They were off for the races. Season 2 now, after falling short, losing it to Manchester City. Season 2 now, they learn their ways. They go and invest big. They spend like 105 on Declan Rice, and Declan Rice was weighing his options, right? Decide to go to Arsenal. What do? They fight in a 3-horse race, right? Arsenal, City, and Liverpool. And they outlast Liverpool. Funny enough, they didn't suffer a loss to Liverpool the last 2 years, but this is all added to their momentum. Now it's Arsenal and City fighting to the very end. We won the league by 2 points. Arsenal will add quality. From what I'm hearing, it's either, and I haven't looked it up, but I think it's close to being a done deal with them getting Moreno. They got Calafiori earlier in the transfer window. Their work is not done, so we'll see what they end up. Doing before this transfer window's over. And I said this when we were kind of talking about the whole Chelsea segment. I don't. If they get an attacker, then it's going to really be worrisome. If they get an attacker, Arsenal, then it's a problem, a focal point, someone with that like, get me the ball, I'm gonna score. If they get someone like that, it's going to be an issue. Now, the reason why I say Arsenal will add more quality is because they've been doing it consistently. The ownership, the club's been backing Arteta consistently, right? And the fact that they went out and got a left back for him after the season before he got Timber, and after the season before that he got Zinchenko, like he speaks to the ownership and they get him what he wants. So I got to be really careful with how aggressive I express my confidence this season. I still got to back City, of course. We've won it 4 times in a row. That experience can lead us to win 5. But there's the hunger, man. There's the hunger that this Arsenal club has. There's a hunger that these Arsenal fans have. It's brutal out here. So if they right now were to start the season only improving their left back and midfield, it's going down to the wire again. It is going down to the wire again. Oh, let me large up Let me large up my gal though. Let me large up my gal Rose. Rose in the building, yo. Rose, hope you're doing well. She goes, good night, Vader. 2 words. Gundogan City. I hear you. I hear you. Thanks for being a part of the show. Great, amazing news. I've been excited. Yesterday was wild. The day before was wild. Yeah, I've been exciting news. I'm so happy for it. I'm so happy for it. Donna wants to say, Mr. Vader, you agree with Mr. Guardiola that title race will be between Arsenal, Liverpool, and City and Spurs. The title race, I think in this case, Pep is being overly respectful. I don't know if the title race is going to be with Spurs. That would be great for the league, right? If he's talking about 4 clubs now, like a 4-horse race, that would be great for the league. But I think Spurs are going to be a problem with regards to the League Cup and FA Cup. I really do. I really do. I think the title chase or the cup trophy chases is going to be fierce this year. I really do. AJ Vader, by all reports, the only other possible transfer now that Mikel Moreno is over the line is Aaron Ramsdale replacement. Really? Well, they get a Ramsdale replacement. That's nothing to be like, ooh, right? That's nothing to really be concerning because maybe that gives them coverage with how they're going to manage their keeper with regards to the league, Champions League, and other cup runs. But you want to say, and then you go on to say, so if that is true, I stand by second again at best. Enjoy the 5-peat. AJ, man. I mean, I think, AJ, you're protecting your heart. I think it's better to have low expectations, right? So you're not disappointed. So you're protecting your heart on this one. But one thing also that cannot be ignored over at Arsenal that was talked about often 2, maybe 3 years ago was the youth, was how young Arsenal were. That is a thing. That is something to consider with the amount of games. Now, if Arteta prioritizes Champions League in the league, and he's like, you know what, I'll have rotation, but what happens in the League Cup, what happens in the FA Cup, whatever. If he happens to prioritize the league and Champions League, and he's got those players, he's got his trusted 11, 12, 13 players, he's got them trusted. I think you guys are a problem. I think Arsenal are a problem. The 5-peat is not like it's not set. But we'll see. The transfer window isn't over until the 31st. So yeah, we'll have to see. AJ showing love to Rose. Have a good night. Have a good night. Rose showing love to everyone in the building. Much respect. Now, Zane goes, I mean, in my opinion, even with Mikel Moreno signing, Arsenal still ain't done enough because they probably need a striker. Yes. Striker, I'm worried. Ivan Toney to Arsenal, I'm worried. Is Osimhen going to Chelsea? Is that like closer? Is that closer than it going to Arsenal? I hope it is. I hope that is. I don't need that. I don't need that at all. I don't need Arsenal getting stronger at the attack. All right, let me reset this. Move that here. And then you take that comment off. All right. Vader game. We moving. Conversation's nice and flow. Everyone in the comment being respectful. I like it. And again, from an hour standpoint, I'm gonna do my best. I think I might be able to get a nice sweet spot in terms of evening shows at 8 p.m. my time. Because I think 8 p.m. my time, I can manage things. You know what I mean? I can manage things with the household. I can sneak away. We got the topics. We're flowing. Doing our show-ish. We good. And I've got something a little retro, hey, if you haven't been a part of the show, you can kind of see what's been done over the years or over the seasons. And if you have been part of the show, you get to kind of like relive a moment. But that's going to be on the outro. I hope you guys enjoy it. And I'm going to obviously modify it, but this is going to be a little start, and I really hope you enjoy it when the show kind of concludes. AJ, Arteta has factually thrown the cups in the bin the last 2 seasons. So by all logic, he will again. So we will see. AJ, that's not true because I think he only crashed out of the League Cup, right? Because of facing Liverpool. And he crashed out of, was it the FA Cup 2 seasons ago when facing City? So it's not like, I mean, I know he doesn't play the strongest squad, but I don't think he really just dashes them away. I don't think he does that, in my opinion. But yeah, let me start the clock. All right. What is it with Chelsea and now United? Why they stay buying? I don't like this. I don't like this type of. I don't like this United that I'm seeing. Sometimes I get I get labeled like I'm trying to troll, or you know, I'm doing copium, or I'm trying to set people up to fail. I'm not, honestly, the way United the way United are spending, and it's not even like they're spending big on a few, they're spending wisely on many, like on many positions that they need, or many profiles that they need, right? What they did going out and getting Euro despite the injury made a lot of sense. And then they went back into the market and got better defensively. Now, you look at what they're looking to do with Orgate. Um, what else are they trying to? Who else are they trying to sign? I think there was also, I mean, they got Xerxes, which was attacking signing. I don't, I don't like, I don't like the patience that I'm seeing from how United are investing. And I should go in a lot more depth with this conversation on Citizens Neighborhood Watch. I think that show I'll look to get a United fan and kind of learn more about that, especially just before the transfer window's over. I think it'd be interesting to have that conversation. But United aren't moving like they used to. They're being patient. And I think it also helps being patient when they don't have any expectations on what they necessarily should be setting as goals for the season. I mean, if their goal, should they be talking winning Europa? I don't know. I don't know if they should be doing that. But if they just steady plug away, Eric Ten Hag, stripped of his managerial duties, he's just a coach. He just does that. Obviously, gets back to more of a season that they had year one. And the last 2 seasons, he's won trophies, League Cup, last year FA Cup, and that pains me, the fact that he won that FA Cup against us. But they're good. They're good. This game versus Brighton, we got to pay a lot of attention to see how they do play. But if United continue to buy like this, and I think that they have been like that. United, even with Ollie, you know what I mean, even with Jose, like they've been up and down. If United just if United's transfer window just ended now, they'd be top six, comfortably top six, and I actually have them higher than that. I'll do a proper breakdown. I'll do a little prediction on an upcoming show. And stay tuned because the CIA show is going to be fire. The CIA show is going to be so good. Let me go to the comments. AJ goes, Manchester United's summer has been good, but in the word uh, of a brother flawless, it's not enough, and they still have Ten Hag tax. AJ, okay, yes, I mean they still got Ten Hag. Okay, it's not enough right now, but even with regards to what they want to do, they're being patient with Sancho. They're looking to not do anything harsh in terms of just getting a name, right? They're not just looking to sell kits. I can't hate. And again, AJ, flawless is he's protecting his heart as well. But he can see he had no complaints when we last spoke on his show. He had no complaints. Zane goes, we will be there for the Jao Pedro Daga. All right. I'm with you. Nah, I respect that. Now, I'm gonna give an explanation, in-depth explanation to my rankings or my expectations or predictions with regards to the league standing. But United, if you haven't heard already, United are going to be pretty high up there. And if they continue to do business like this, not necessarily we need to be concerned with United playing us, right? Like that type of head-to-head fight, but United overall within the league, they've got a lot to play for. And it's good. I think if they continue on with what Omar Barada keeps doing, right? We know the quality that he has and the ambition that he has. Damn United. All right, let me do this. Vader game. All right. Now, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for getting through these topics as well. As you can see, I'm trying to keep a tight ship here, right? 5 minutes per topic. We flow, we interact with the comments, and we keep it moving. And I got different styles of shows to have different conversations and flows. Didn't mean to make that rhyme, but you know what? I can be a rapper sometime. What I'm going to point out is that every show is going to be different things to come up. And again, these shows are very therapeutic for me. If I'm being honest with you, I could, and I have, but I could easily have this convo if there was no one in the comments right now, no one in the chat. You all supporting and being a part of it is absolutely amazing. You make this that much more enjoyable to do. Yeah, for me to have a diary, for me to kind of break things down, even when it comes down to like my thumbnails and my train of thinking, and the fact that I put these topics here on screen helped me out. But with this episode, and it's the newest Why Always Me, episode 109, I got the Gundogan reunion that we talked about at the very start, right? The Trouble Captain returns. Talked about Arsenal's ambition because they're looking to strengthen for another summer, which they did last summer and the one previous to that. So you know that they're getting support from the ownership, and you got the ownership that are giving Arteta a contract extension. That I'm gonna save for CIA because I got some agenda slants on that one. But the manager's got the backing. It's got the backing of the ownership. They're giving him an extended contract. An extended contract, rewarding him for what he's done in terms of progression, not necessarily hardware. So you understand it. They think they got a value, or they think they have quality that's going to appreciate. They got this young manager that they're invested in. Now, when we now talk about fan base, when we now talk about a club, when we now talk about Liverpool, and I'm gonna get to the comments. I see you. Liverpool is a really interesting one. Liverpool's a really interesting one. And Zane, if you're still here, I hope it's all good. But I went in on Liverpool. Because I don't know why the fans are freaking out the way they are. Liverpool typically don't go out and spend big in the transfer window. They really don't. So when the fans are kind of like calling for FSG out, when they're acting like this isn't like clockwork, when they're acting like this isn't like the changing of the seasons, I just don't get it. I feel like sometimes it's Groundhog Day where these fans just wait for the lack of transfer movement, which seems to be pretty standard for Liverpool, and then they want to have their meltdowns, and then they want to say FSG out, and then they want to cuss out these boardroom staff members. Like, Liverpool fans are desperate, but they're only desperate because they're forgetting how their club Liverpool typically move. And they're desperate because they're watching how all the other clubs around them tend to be spending, and they're doing their thing. But on my show that I'm going to talk about on I want to talk about this on 115, right? On 115, but let me do a self promo, right? On 115, I'm actually going to speak. I'm going to speak on why Liverpool can afford not to invest to win. Why they can choose to kind of wait, maybe quote unquote move slow, be indecisive, however they want to label it, but why Liverpool can afford not to invest. Why they could look at this season and really look at who could be challenging from behind. Like, obviously, Liverpool finished third last season. It was a 3-horse race, but the ownership, FSG, may be looking at me like, the clubs below Liverpool, y'all don't look that good. Y'all don't look to be threatening this third position. And Liverpool probably believe that that would take a lot, maybe too much of an investment to get a result that would exceed finishing third when you have an Arteta Arsenal and you have a Manchester City with a Pep and that squad of players. Maybe strategically, the ownership of Liverpool are like, we're buying our time this season. And they've done that in previous years. The meltdown shouldn't happen. These Liverpool fans and the desperate reaction, demanding for transfers, demanding for signings, it's not necessary. And also, if Liverpool fans want to kind of reset, want to also remember how it was before it became their breaking Prem history for them and winning their first Prem a couple seasons back, right? They broke a 30-year-old curse with regards to winning a Prem. If they want to look at that, they also realize that their club usually freed up some cash to be able to do that surge, to be able to do that attack on trying to win a Prem. I don't get the desperation from the Liverpool fans. And when I talk about on the 115, I'm going to have to emphasize that Liverpool are on brand. Liverpool are on brand to be working in cycles. Now, if Liverpool fans want to be crazy desperate because they're looking at how the contracts are kind of lining up when they look at a Van Dijk, they look at an Allison, they look at a Trent, and they look at a Salah, okay, the fans can express desperation because they don't know what they don't know what the staff are doing. They don't know what the strategy is in terms of why they've let it, run down to, this remaining months with regards to some of these contracts. They don't get all that. I get that. But have FSG really mess things up where they haven't been a challenging top 5 club? And I would say no. I don't think they've messed it up like that. Now, if some want to say the only reason why they were that consistent was because of Klopp, okay, you could say that. So maybe they need to do a lot more to help out a less experienced and less quality manager in Arne Slot. Yeah, could say that. But I think this is a feel your way type of season. I think this is Liverpool being like, Slot, let's see what you can do. Let's see what you can do with the same ingredients of what a Klopp does. And hear me out. All right, Zane, I see your comment. I'm going to get to it. But hear me out. Sometimes you need a controlled experiment, a controlled environment, right? So to really know whether Slot is of equal or maybe because his different approach could be better or maybe he's slightly worse. But if you keep the control environment, if you have the same ingredients, right? If you have all of that and then you ask Slot to then do his thing, you can then say, okay, this environment, consistent, Klopp got this. This same environment, consistent, Slot got this or Slot got that. You could see how good Slot is, everything being even, and then you move. I know Liverpool fans, you don't want a wasted year, right? I already can hear it. Oh, you're wasting
Salah's prime years. You're wasting Van Dijk's years. You're wasting Allison and Trent. Okay. Yes and no. Yes and no, because you don't want to just buy wrongly, or you don't want to realize that you're going to overinvest for a manager that probably isn't at it, or that maybe these players shouldn't have these extended contracts because they're on their last legs, kind of. They're on the portion of their careers where the motivation may not be there. So, desperate Liverpool fans, and I'm not accusing Zayn of this, but desperate Liverpool fans, y'all need to chill out. Y'all need to remember what your club is or have been in the Prem. These Prem wins haven't been like that. A Champions League, really, they haven't even been like, you've won 6, but they haven't been like that. So you're now back in Champions League. Maybe that's the motivation. Maybe that's the direction. And if you think of squad-wise, maybe you can't compete on multiple fronts, but one could argue that squad can go far. Ooh, let me stop myself, because that squad did not go far in Europa. All right, let me stop. Let me save this for CIA. Zane goes, do you agree that signing a DM is a must for us, though, Bader? Yes, I do agree that a 6 is a must. It is. But is it just a 6 for 6's sake? Right? Is it just getting a DM because you need one, or is it getting one that's going to be like, is it going to be the Fabinho? Is it going to be, that's his job, he's got that locked for the next 4 or 5 years? I don't know. But Zane, typically does FSG not typically do smart with regards to signings, right? And I'm gonna save the banter. I'm gonna save the agenda talk for a different show. On the up and up, FSG are smart, wise with their money. And maybe it's just the deal's got to be right. And when I say the deal's got to be right, maybe Liverpool don't want to pay that much up front. Maybe that's some of the reasons why these signings don't go through the door. Because from a financial standpoint, and I don't want to geek out on the accounting side, but maybe they're like, some of these upfront deals doesn't make sense with a unconfirmed, completely reliable, guaranteed signing. So maybe the Zumamendi was one of those. I don't know. I think CB as well, just because of injuries. If you shore up defensively, you still make do with your attacks, with Slot being able to get more out of them. If there's anything, and again, when I do this on CIA, I'm going to do a proper breakdown. But I think, yeah, DM is probably the most critical position needed. If there's coming out of this transfer window over the summer that that Liverpool need. So when we say Arsenal need a striker. I think that's their need, right? I went into the transfer window saying that I need coverage for Rodri. Zane, Liverpool, I think you would say you need a DM. Endo wasn't that guy. McAllister and Szoboszlai, however you guys were trying to do your thing with what Klopp was doing last season, that didn't work out. You need a true holding midfielder with the defensively minded that can break up some of those attacks that happen against you. I agree. Window's not over though. Panicking is wild. That needs to stop. Zane, we wanted Zumamendi, which would have been a good signing. Yeah, a good signing, not a great signing, but it's been him or nothing, and having a lack of backup options is concerning. It is. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys did business in the January transfer window, but the fact that you went in for Zumamendi, not getting him, yeah, that's tough. But Zane, I don't know how attractive of a project and destination Liverpool happens to be right now, just because of new ownership. New management with regards to the manager. Maybe there's a lot of questions on whether players want to come to that project, and then there's also the understanding, because players and agents talk. Agents of a player that's looking to come to the club also know like, oh, the quality of Liverpool, like the spine. When you look at Salah, when you look at Van Dijk, when you look at Allison, when you look at Trent, like all those players are up in the air. I may be going into this, and I'm not going to have the quality that I'm hoping for to be able to go for the trophies that I haven't won. Why should I go? Like that is concerning. So for some reason, not everything looks all rosy and rainbows over there at Liverpool. John says Liverpool have worse midfield out of Arsenal and City. Yeah, yeah. I didn't mean to hesitate that long. I just showed respect to kind of like go through the players. Yeah, Liverpool do have the worst midfield amongst those three. And that's why they fell off the quickest in this 3-horse race. They keep mentioning if the right opportunity comes up, which means they won't be any panic settings. Yeah, the club, John, you're absolutely right. The club say the right opportunity, but the fans are melting out. They're losing their minds. It's absolutely wild. So I think I think the final day of the transfer window is going to be some of the best stuff. I think it's going to bring a lot of guessing, a lot of speculation, and again, even though business can be done on the last day, it doesn't mean it's bad. Business being done on the last day also doesn't mean that it's like a panic from a management standpoint, from a club standpoint. How the fans read it, that's completely different. But I think if Arsenal, Liverpool, and even City do late business within the transfer window, it's again to show that they've got the ambition to either stay or improve on their current standings. Arsenal have been very aggressive with their spending. United obviously haven't been happy with their finish. They've been spending consistently. Chelsea, they're trying to get things fixed really quickly with how they're investing. I wouldn't be surprised if on the final day you saw 1-2 signings from Liverpool. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Zane in the building goes, let's get Gareth Barry out of retirement. Zane, imagine you going back and getting going back and getting James Milner. Not for, and I think he played a little bit of 6, a little bit. But going back for support like that. Oh, my gal Rose goes, Vader, our competition are in panic mode. Rose is saying the competition's in panic mode. They just keep buying, not being arrogant. Rose, not being arrogant, but I see City doing a 5p. No, you're not being arrogant. Rose, I'm out here flexing. I'm saying the league is ours. I know a lot needs to happen game by game. I'm backing the club, obviously. This man rejoining means so much. So yeah, I'm confident as well, and I'm not being arrogant, but I will flex our success. Rose, we got to flex the success because it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So this 4p, let's remind them of the 4p. Not necessarily need to tell them that we're winning the 5p, but we can celebrate and be very appreciative of the 4p. We can be like 4p winners. Like, when did we ever think we'd say this? Right? When did we ever think we'd be saying that? Let me go to the last comment of the night. John goes, has Pep given this much youth an opportunity? Is this a sign it's his final season? No. I mean, I can't speak for Pep. I don't know. This might be his final season. I hope it's not his final season. A lot of words coming out of Manchester are saying that Pep, he's very close to making a decision. There's obviously the 115s that are kind of pending, but it looks like Pep is going to extend how many seasons? I don't know. Will it be hey, I'm a 1+1, maybe in the 1+1, right? One in option. I don't know, but I hope he extends. And the playing of the youth is just realizing that such great quality has come through the academy, because we've let a lot of players go, right? You got Delap, who's actually over at Ipswich, and he looked very good playing against Liverpool. Obviously, you have Lavia, Micah Hamilton, who's left. I forget where he went. but there's been so much good quality. James McAtee's come back. Obviously Rico Lewis, Oscar Bob. I think he's just realized like these players, these kids that went through the academy, and how can I forget Cole Palmer also doing his thing over at Chelsea? He's seen how these players have come up, and he's giving them an opportunity. And I think it's also because of the surrounding senior and experience that's around that it can still work. Because you got these kids got these young players have to get that experience. They have to get it. John goes, Are you keeping a close I'm assuming, are you keeping a close eye on Slot? And where do you think he will finish? John, I don't want to answer it. All right, you know, I'll answer it, but I'm not going into depth. I think Liverpool finished 4th this season. The other teams in front of them, I'm going to discuss on another show. That's what we call a teaser. All right, that's what we call a teaser. I'm going to discuss that on another show. Let me shout out my man Zane. Zane goes, the lap gave Ganesh a run around. He is a handful. He is, and he's getting stronger. He's not a small player as well. Like he's good. He's good. The lap's going to be nice. Now, I told you all that I'm going to do my best for this show is either going to happen on Wednesdays or Thursdays, and it's going to be at 8 o'clock. I think 8 o'clock is going to be better. I don't want to keep anyone over in the UK up too late. You know, show starting at midnight. Midnight's not too bad, even if you kind of catch it on replay. But we'll do that. I'm gonna do my best to be within an hour 15. This show is an hour 15, 115. So I'm gonna shut down pretty quickly. Everybody in the comments, love is always being a part of the show, interacting, everyone being respectful. That's the community that I want to build. All right, nothing nasty, nothing. Nah, we don't need to do all that. We can say that for a different channel or a different show. But the why always me? Let's talk some football. Let's share our points of view. Always like that. Rose goes on to say, Vader, Pep better extend his contract. This is the best club for him. It's his home. He's never been anywhere longer. Rose, he's never been anywhere longer. He's come to Manchester. He's taken his shoes off, Manchester City in particular, and he's like, I like it here. I've been other places. Pep's like, I like it here. Gundogan, he's left. He's gone to La Liga. He's gone to Spain. He's like, I want back in Manchester. I hear you, Rose. I hear you 100%. Now, on the outro, what I did, and I hope you can stick around and catch it, but I put together a little compilation of some of my past thumbnails. So please take a minute on the outro. While on the outro, if you haven't already, hit the like button, drop a comment, share some feedback. Watching this on the replay, let me know if you watched this from beginning to end. If you caught the end, let me know what you think of the outro. It's something that I want to do. Most shows kind of end abruptly, and I've been ending abruptly at times too. But I'm like, yo, listen, maybe someone's new, maybe someone wants to get caught up. Hopefully, you get a chance to enjoy this. So I'm Vader Games. This is Vader Games TV, and this is episode 109, the newest of Why Always Me. In the future, I'm also going to do my best to, depending on time of day, time of night, because again, I did this at 8. Maybe this show might be early in the day. Maybe it might be 9 o'clock UK time. So that means it'll be like 4 o'clock my time. It all depends on the work day. But I'm always going to give you a Why Always Me. And this episode, we talked about Gundogan reunion, Arsenal ambition, Liverpool's ambition, Chelsea spending and their ambition, and then obviously Liverpool showing incredible patience, being like, hey, no need to rush. They expect to be there, and they will do their thing. I'm seeing people in the comments just joining now. Jordan in the building. He goes, hey, bro, what it do? Thanks for being a part of the show. Donna says, Mr. Vader, I want Mr. Guardiola to come to Spurs and win trophies. I don't know if that's going to happen, Donna. I really don't. I just subscribe, bro. I do YouTube as well. Listen, I'm gonna give you a subscribe as well. I see that Jamaican flag representing. So bless up. Good looking out. Donna says, Wagwan, Jordan. Now, please hit that like button if you haven't. Share this with other city or rivals. If what I'm talking about and you think it's all messed up, hey, I look forward to the different points of view. And I'm gonna have a show of Citizens Neighborhood Watch, 115, which will happen tomorrow, and CIA. Do not miss it. Subscribe to the channel. Cite Intelligent Agendas. We're going to have something new going on, and I think you're going to like it. Again, I'm also going to be very concise with the show. We're going to be on point. All right, nothing long-winded. But I hope you enjoyed the outro. I'm Vader Games, and I'm out.
Thank you.